Hello, everybody. Welcome to Snyder's Inc. And today for sure you're gonna get this video. I'm not sure if you're gonna get another one. I'm gonna be honest. Because today I'm spending most of the day with my family celebrating my birthday, which is coming up on Monday. But they live out of town, so I'll have to see. I'm going meet up with them today. So it depends on when I get back. We'll decide if I'm getting you guys a second video today. But for sure you're gonna get this one. This one is from the channel The Darkest Secret, and this is the shocking case of the Alcasser girls. We're gonna get right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment what you think down below. Let's go.
What you're about to see next is a highly unusual video, probably the most striking story I have ever submitted. Because it's about a subscriber who wrote telling me about a paranormal experience he had on vacation. Shocking phenomena that I later realized that its origin comes from one of the horrible tragedies that all of Spain has experienced. A macabre and lurid case that affected 3 innocent girls, and that at that time was the main focus of the media. A closed case that had been full of inconsistencies and mysteries, but now has come into my hands with an absolutely paranormal aspect. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present the shocking case of the Alcasser girls. It is incredible how sometimes, accidentally, I have come across macabre stories that with just a few minutes of investigation, they come to light. This is what happened with the case that you will learn about in the next few minutes. It was one of my subscribers, by showing me some strange photographs taken with their camera, showed me the tip of the iceberg, the gateway to an extremely shocking episode. I would like to start this video in the reverse way of how I came about this case. That is to say, by the chronological beginning of the entire story. You see, our subscribers' paranormal images have their origin specifically on the night of November 13th, 1992, when 3 teenagers named Miriam Garcia, Antonia Gomez, and Desiree Hernandez, all approximately 14 years old, went out together to spend what would be an exciting night at a local dancing spot, a place that they had already attended in previous days without major inconveniences, which is why their parents authorized the outing without the need of adult supervision. However, that night, the young girls never returned home. The next morning, since no one knew anything of them, not even their closest friends, a massive search for the young girls began. Rescue teams and police joined in the search, and the area was inspected for any trace of the girls. With the passing of days, the search for them made national news, which is why the written press, radio, and television media were present in the place. Newspapers published extensive reports on the case, while talk shows aired on television explaining the situation, talking to the relatives, and generally speculating about where and with whom they might be.
Why do we need to do that? Why do we need to have talk shows where we speculate on what happened to them? That's not necessary. That ain't gonna get nowhere. Like, talk shows media should not be. The media's main thing when it comes to missing people should be about giving information, how you can find them, where they were last located, stuff like that. Don't play time speculating, because speculating ain't gonna get you nowhere.
No one imagined that the search would end in the worst possible way. On January 27th, 1993, 2 hunters discovered the bodies of the 3 teenagers in
It's always 2 hunters, isn't it? It's always 2 hunters. It happens to always be 2 hunters that find the bodies of people. It's very funny.
a place known as La Romana, some 43 miles from Alcasser. The bodies had been buried and showed signs of the worst, of all the horrific things you can imagine. The parents who still held out hope of finding them alive were devastated in front of the cameras that continued to follow them everywhere.
Bitch, even if my kids were missing, you ain't gonna put no damn cameras around me, trying to freaking follow me around. My man, your camera's about to be destroyed if you keep following me, and my kids were missing. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Obviously, and because the disappearance of the girls had become national news, the police were in the midst of media pressure that was becoming more intense every day. They interviewed hundreds of people.
Please do not tell me these police are about to just arrest some random guy over it. Because we've seen this before. This is a thing that's happened before, where police are under pressure to solve a crime. A horrific crime. But instead of actually doing the job, make sure they catch the right person, the police, to avoid the pressure, will just find someone and just say they're the ones that did it, and we'll just arrest them, even though they probably weren't even in the country when they did it. They'll go with it. They'll make up shit in order to get the ground, so the media will leave them alone.
And carried out numerous forensic tests to find clues that could lead to the arrest of those responsible. They worked day and night, and this is how they managed to get the first clue. In the grave where the girls had been buried, they found, almost in full view and with almost no damage, a piece of paper from Spain's Social Security on which the name of Enrique Angles could be read. The police go to Enrique's house, and it just so happens that Antonio Angles, his brother, was there, a convict who had been out with a special authorized permission. When Antonio sees the police arrive, he manages to escape. His best friend, Miguel Ricard, can't take it anymore and confesses that Antonio murdered the girls and that he witnessed it. Ricard
I don't care that the best friend deserves to go to jail himself. When you walk in, or you are hanging out with someone, and if you see this person go to start murdering someone and you just watch him do it, you deserve to go to jail for what he did.
Had already been arrested previously for crimes involving abuse. However, in his statement, he assures that he only witnessed the facts, but he never did anything. At the trial, the police revealed that they had found Ricard's DNA on the girls' bodies. Ricard denies everything, but he was still found guilty and sentenced to 170 years in prison, while Antonio Angles, the other main suspect, went on the run shortly after the murders and was never caught. The police believed that he had fled to England, and there was speculation that he had been killed in a shootout in 2003, although his body was never found. From then on, the case begins to fall apart. Inconsistencies begin to occur, and information comes to light that contradicts almost all of the police's actions. You see, despite being convicted, Ricard always pleaded not guilty to the charges. In fact, subsequent investigations confirm that DNA from him or Antonio Angles were never found in the house where these crimes were allegedly perpetrated, something that contradicted what had been.
What did I say? What did I say? The police? Now, in straight defense, the first guy, the guy who went on the run, if he didn't do it, he made himself out to be really fucking guilty. Because he sat there. He went on the fucking run, never to be found again. You don't go on the run if you didn't commit a crime. I don't know many people who go on the run for in are never found again if you are innocent and did not commit a crime. So that guy probably did something. The friend there said, I witnessed it, and I did say, I stick with this statement, he witnessed it, he deserves to go to jail for it, because he didn't stop it. But apparently, there are so many inconsistencies, because the police were probably quick to want to wrap up this case, that there is a chance these people might actually be, could be set free, because there's been times where if there's a bunch of inconsistencies, defense attorney can easily bring him up and can get a case looked at again or overruled or stuff like that.
Been the first evidence to put him behind bars. But that is not the only thing. It is said that in the grave where the victims were found, genetic material from 6 different subjects were found among the girls' clothing. For some strange reason, those subjects' identities were never revealed. In addition, according to the official version, the crime took place in a house near the site of the discovery. However, this was never proven. It was even linked that this setting only served as a passage to leave the bodies in the final location. Another noteworthy fact is that the police said at the time that the girls were dragged from the house to the grave. However, it was discovered that this journey was never made, since no traces of blood, fluids, or any evidence were found that led to that. The girl.
Yeah, so that doesn't add up. The police said she was clearly dragged, but they're like, well, there's no blood, there's no DNA from them at all in any path. There's nothing. So clearly, there's no way they could have been dragged that far. So yeah, that doesn't add up.
Girls had broken fingernails, as if they had avoided being dragged. They were too damaged to be simply product of the dirt. Nails wear down like this when scraped against asphalt or concrete. There was no trace of this in the house where the event allegedly occurred. And as if that weren't enough, it is also stated that there were actually human remains of other people in the grave besides the girls, as if that area had already been occupied to hide previous crimes.
Yeah, that should have probably been mentioned the first time. Yeah, like what? The more you would have said to me, I'm like, hey, so whoever did this is a serial killer. And is such a good, this person is such a good serial killer, they can kill 3 women easily. Now we've seen this happen before. There have been a couple different cases of multiple women being killed by one singular person. That person usually is way more planning, way more thought out when they do it. So it is possible. It is possible.
Which was never mentioned in the official police report. This is why many argue that in reality the bodies of the girls never passed through those places, and that everything was planned to hide evidence regarding the true culprits of the act. The perpetrator, who apparently, and as many have suggested, had some relationship or were linked to high-ranking officials and authorities in the area. The same ones that diverted the focus of the investigations until they reached Miguel Ricard and Antonio Angles. Think about it. Antonio is given an exclusive and unusual permission to leave jail and visit his family. During that week, he commits this crime, leaves a bill with his last name at the crime scene, and then vanishes. Miguel Ricard and Antonio Angles were the favorite targets so that the trial wouldn't last long.
I still will stick to the sentiment. This guy made himself out to look really guilty then. But here's the thing that makes it weird. This guy looked up, made himself out to be really guilty. This guy confessed that he did it. These guys made himself out to be easy goddamn victims. These guys set themselves up to be put to jail.
Antonio was in jail for robbery and assault against his girlfriend, and Miguel already had a record of abuse. Without a doubt, track records that made them easily become the main suspects. Sometime later, a man appeared who, on his deathbed due to cancer, claimed to have a video where girls were seen being attacked by high-ranking members of the state, businessmen, and other people of power. He says that the genetic material of these 6 people was sent for analysis, but for a year there has been no outcome. A case that not only had flaws in the investigations, but the media also played a painful leading role. And it's because day by day, from the moment they joined the searches, they were always smothering the relatives, recording their expressions every time some horrible news.
I'm telling you, they would have went to me and they would have put on camera and said, we're gonna follow you and tell these people. I said, no you fucking ain't. You gonna get your cameras. You about to go me need to buy new cameras if you can do it now. I'm gonna tell all of you media people now, you leave me alone unless I decide you're gonna talk to me. Do not stop following me around with your cameras.
Was received. On one occasion, they were in a studio, live and direct, when police apprehended Miguel and reported that Antonio escaped. But at least they already had the culprits. People in the audience were clapping as if it were a reality show, while the parents stood there, completely broken. The first time the girls were found deceased in the grave, the journalist, with lights and cameras in their faces, would ask them how they felt.
That's the thing, the media are the most, I will stick with the same, the media are the most heartless people you can find. The media don't care about you, your feelings, how you think about the situation. They don't care about what the crime is that they're reporting on. They don't care. All they care about is how do I get clicks, how do I get likes, what do I care about my TV show. They are the most heartless people you can find.
Felt about it. A sad festival of mistakes that, as I told you at the beginning, I discovered thanks to a subscriber who, knowing this case in depth, decided to visit some of these places in the Alcasser area. As if that were not enough, the locals offer a tour that they call something like the tour of the Alcasser girls, where they take you from the club, passing through the house where they were murdered, and the vicinity where the grave is located. And as you can imagine, they charge for that. It was this tour that our subscriber went on. In the email, it says that they had stayed in a hotel near the place where the girls were supposedly murdered. Their goal was to take a tour from the nightclub, passing through the place where they were murdered. It was there, at the scene, that their camera only captured this.
Oh. Right there.
However, telling once the tour was over and when they returned to the place where they were staying, they began to perceive strange phenomena, capturing several images like these. This was just the beginning of a trip that they would surely remember for the rest of their lives. After this, they decided to rent a property with the idea of being more comfortable, a property outside of Alcasser, now to enjoy the rest of Spain. However, the being from the previous photograph joined them.
Bro. Bro. Nah, man, you guys shouldn't have gone on that. Whatever it is, brought it with you.
His tour consisted of 5 days. 5 days to get to know everything that had happened here years ago. However, due to the phenomena that they began to experience, they became frightened, so they preferred to leave. To be honest, our subscriber told us little about the story of this case, but after digging deeper and discovering what these phenomena were due to, I came across this lurid and at the same time mysterious case that undoubtedly deserved a complete chapter to be dedicated to it. In the event that that specter is real, I could assure you that it is some kind of punishment for doing a tour where there was so much pain. Because in the world of the occult, it is believed that when such a horrible and ruthless event occurs, something breaks in reality and lets out shadows or dark energies that try to continue perceiving that feeling of horror, despair, and fear. The origin of these entities is unknown. Sometimes they take the form of the victims, but in most cases, they manifest just like that, as shadows. This type of thing should not be taken lightly. One can be very skeptical. You never know when these things can manifest with all their energy. It is not known what their scope is. Perhaps they can even attach to people when watching a video like this one. Now, I don't know if the entity will stay with him or if it will abandon him when he leaves Spain. I have already written to him, and I hope to have an answer. Now tell me what you think of this case. Is there any relationship between everything that happened and these strange images sent by our subscriber? Will all this be clarified one day? Will there be justice for these 3 young girls? Let me know what you think in the comment box, as this video has come to an end. My name is Leonor Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.
So, what I will say before we wrap this up is I absolutely would believe that if there is ghosts, the possibility of ghosts, that a video, that if they were going to happen anywhere, it'd be a place where there was suffering, there was pain, there was stuff like that. So when if 3 girls are murdered in this place, if there were pain, suffering, and all that, it would be them. It would be then and at that place where ghosts and spirits would still be. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.